All right, something else. I've seen people on some of the forums say that when they're charging off their bike, they have problems with stuff with the USB-C cable charging properly their Android phone, blah blah blah. Yeah, reason for that is USB-C as a standard is really screwed up right now. Nobody's following it. Not proper, or hardly anybody's following it properly. So there's a lot of stuff going on inside these connectors. I'm not going to get into technical parts, but like the USB-C on this 12 volt plug, I've had several of these, even one that took the place of this voltmeter. They're Chinese. I think this one's a Scosche. I can't remember what the one I installed here was, but that one burnt out. So I'm not even going directly to the phone with this. I basically have a UPS, a power supply, backup battery. If I even blow the fuse for the power to this, which is under the seat, it's not a big deal. I'm good to go. I've got a 20,000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery in my tank bag. It's actually a jump starter box. And this is actually going from the USB-A. I believe it's a 2.0 or 3.0 port, I think. And it's black, but it puts out juice. Decent amount. I got that going to the USB-C in on the power brick. And then I have, let me go ahead and open up the Moscow Moto tank bag. And I'm doing this with the helmet on. The camera's mounted on the helmet, so excuse me there. Let's see. It's charging. This is the one going to the phone. USB 3A, 3, whatever. Going to the USB-C on my Android phone. Now I've got, and you see those are higher powered ports. I got this retractable, and I also carry a USB-C adapter for that, just in case I need it. And this is the input off of that. So if I'm out and about doing a bunch of stuff and this is charged up all the way, and I unplug the phone, when I plug it back up, it won't come back on to charge. Well, instead of having to undo the bag, reach in here and hit the power button, all I have to do is turn off the power going in on my dash with the switch, and it excites it, and it starts charging my phone, and then I just turn it back on, and then it starts charging the brick back up. So this stays charged up for the most part. It uses a little off the top, recharges it, that sort of thing. I got my jumper connector in here for it. Got a 12 volt outlet like this that plugs into it, 10 amps. So I can run my air pump off that if I blow the fuse on my dash under the seat, the power supply for it. So what this does is this supplies a nice clean power through USB-C to my phone or whatever else I have plugged up to it. So it's like a rectifier, because one of the problems with these things burning out is they're constantly going into a protection mode and going into slow charging mode, because the stator and rectifier voltage regulator on these bikes is old school. It's not very powerful, and it fluctuates too much for sensitive electronics. So this is like a backup battery power supply, like you'd have for a desktop computer, where if the power goes out, the battery doesn't let the computer shut off. But this also cleans up the power for whatever you have plugged up to it. So it's just an intermediary. And it's also a backup. If I lose my power at my dash, I had this as a backup for air pump, keeping devices charged, my satellite communicator, that sort of thing. So just thought that'd be helpful for people that have problems with power supplies charging their USB-C Android devices. I've heard people with iPhones sometimes have a problem too on the KLRs coming off of these plugs. But there you go. That's that.